Hello, Activist Victor here, and we're looking at a chance of severe weather in this region in the U.S. today. So basically another Alert Network broadcast. Now, as we recall, most of this is within 25 miles of a point, so this doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be severe weather like at your location if you're in here, but having a moderate risk is the second highest class, so that's not something you probably want to just sit back and ignore. Even enhanced is not nothing. Slights, I don't know. I don't want to knock any of this stuff because if there's a chance, there's a chance. It could happen. So since it's day one, we can actually look at the exact hazards that they're looking for. So here's the tornado chance. It's not like super, super, super high, but 15% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. That's not nothing. Oh, and you may notice they have a hatched area, which they didn't have in the last one. That basically indicates that there is a chance, 10% or greater, that you will have a EF2 plus tornado within 25 miles of a point within this region. So we could have significant severe. Right now, that's telling me that it's probably some chance for supercell thunderstorms, because that's like the only way you can get those significant tornadoes, really. I guess you can get them in a squall line, but they typically have to have embedded supercells, so that's not really avoiding the thing anyways. Wind, at least there's no hatched area, but so it looks like it's just basic severe wind, because if they had a 10%, if they had a hatched area, it'd be 10% or greater probability of wind gusts 65 knots or more, which I guess is like actually more than 65. It was like 1.15 miles per hour, is it not? But still, I mean, it's not as bad as the tornadoes, in my opinion. At least there's no significant, but even though the probs are actually higher, so I guess it is as bad, if not worse. And hail, we have this is basically the chance of 1 inch plus hail within 25 miles of a point, and the hatched area is a chance 10% or greater that you'll have 2-inch plus hail within 25 miles of a point. So I'm thinking, yeah, definitely supercell thunderstorms. It looks like it's associated with a cold front and a linear out later based on later forecasts, and I don't know. I looked at the model runs, and that's what we're actually going to do right after this. So sorry about that. I'm shifting the tab. So this is tomorrow's forecast. I just want to get this out there just so you guys know this is a thing. So if you are to the east of that current location, don't just sit there and say, oh, no, nothing's going to happen, because there's still a chance. It just looks like it mostly moves this way. I mean, it's not as bad as moderate, but still, enhanced is not nothing. So sorry if I'm like delaying this. I feel like, okay, so this is the NAM model run, I think. Yeah, the NAM, and it doesn't really simulate the current reflectivity very well, so take what it's showing with a grain of salt, but this is basically what's expected to happen over the course of the day. And this was like put out a few hours ago, so bear with us. It looks like there's going to be some precip up there, and then there's a line that forms back here. So that's pretty consistent, but again, it doesn't really simulate what's going. Yeah, there's definitely a linear forcing or linear mechanism that's generating these storms. Looks like, I mean, it looks like it's along the fronts, basically what I want to say. Let's look at these 6-hour. It actually is forecasting this pretty good. What am I saying? I was stupid. I was looking at this and I was like, oh, it's not forecasting it very good. But yeah, this is actually forecasting this very well. So I'd actually really, I think there is going to be some linear mechanism that's going on there. Then we have, just look at the other models. GFS, look at 6 hours. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for this right now, but at the same time, you know, I'm kind of rushed. I have class in like a few minutes, so I just woke up. I didn't eat anything, so this really isn't showing it as well. It looks like it's going to be less defined. So the GFS is kind of looking like it's more going to go to the south. And the north part's really not going to get hit that much. But again, I kind of don't trust it as much because it looks like the initial runs definitely have some sort of resemblance to what's going on right now, but it's not as good. And then finally, the rapid refresh, as it says right up here. So it looks like this is like sort of sort of like what's going on, and it looks like this is also having some sort of linear banding going on in the storms. And it doesn't go out all the way, so it's really hard to see what happens beyond that, but basically these are agreeing that, at least the NAM and the RAP are agreeing that there's going to be some sort of linear squall line that's going to go through this area. It might start out as more isolated convection, though, and the RAP doesn't really show it as strong, and the NAM shows it as stronger. So what happens, you'll have to keep your eye on the situation to see exactly, but you can be sure I'm going to be keeping my eye on this, and I'm hoping that it hits me because I like severe weather. If you don't want the severe weather to hit you, I'll take it. So, yeah, that's the Alert Network. I hope I said everything right. I'm not going to go into as detail the forecast this time because I don't really have time to. Plus, I think that I showed everything I need to. So, yeah, I'm signing off. And stay safe, people. Keep an eye on the weather, and you'll be fine.